All right, war update. Moving on. Moving on to the next subject of the day. The U.S. Secretary General warns a possibility of nuclear war amid Russian invasion.
Winning? No.
I told you this when it first popped off. I hope it doesn't get that far, but I've been saying I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't this entire time, and it keep does it. It keep does. It keep does. I know that's not proper English. I'm just making a joke and a point, but this is the life we live in, man. A civil war, world war, it's coming. It's all gonna pop at a head. I don't know when, but the world is living in cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Half the world wants to be transhumanist feelings world, and the other half wants to be free, but it is what it is. Let's get into this article. UN Secretary General warns of possibility of nuclear war amid Russian invasion. The United Nations Secretary General warned Monday that about the possibility that the Ukraine-Russian crisis could escalate into nuclear war. Raising the alert level of Russian nuclear forces is a bone-chilling development, Antonio Guterres told reporters on Monday. Reuters first reported the prospect of nuclear conflict, once unthinkable, is now back within the realm of possibility. Gutierrez urged negotiations and reconciliation, noting that the fallout that Ukrainian civilians have endured as a result of the Russian invasion. It's time to stop the horror unleashed on the people of Ukraine and get on the path of diplomacy and peace, he said. The appeal for peace must be heard, the tragedy must stop. I do agree. I do think Russia should sit down in peace talks and come up with peace talks. But since I believe in innocent until proven guilty, though Russia has a habit of lying, and you should take that into account and take it with a grain of salt. But applying my own principles, if Putin is telling the truth about these biolabs and not just using it to like release weapons or whatever, because he did go to the UN with wanting to sit down and do a new treaty and such, and the UN did agree that they're going to do that.
That's how winning is done.
Then that's not going to happen until we address these labs adequately here in the United States. I mean, it is what it is. Like we should listen to Tulsi, we should listen to Tucker Carlson, and we should investigate these labs. I don't know why we're housing Soviet era pathogens that we were ordered to destroy in the first place, but it is what it is. Amid recent Russian attacks around nuclear plants in Ukraine, such as the training facility outside the perimeter of the Zaporizhzhia plant in eastern Ukraine that caught fire due to crossfighting, Gutierrez demanded the protection of Ukraine nuclear facilities. Is this in Chernobyl? The UN has directed $40 million from its Central Emergency Response to fund humanitarian aid in Ukraine, he added. This funding will help the critical supplies of food, water, medicines, and other life-saving aid into the other countries, as well as provide cash assistance, Gutierrez says. Yeah, is this Chernobyl? Because I'd like to know, because that was said, they were saying this was Chernobyl. But it doesn't say where it is, right? We'll have to get into that a little bit later. Let's go back here. 4 days after Russia began its air, naval, and ground assault into Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin put his nuclear deterrent forces on high alert for a special regime of combat duty, which he said was in response to what he claimed was NATO aggression. Just last February, the U.S. renewed the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, or New START, the nuclear arms control agreement with Russia for another 5 years. The bilateral treaty had both national pledge reductions and limitations on strategic defense arms, specifically nuclear warheads, and the land and submarine-based missiles and military aircraft designed to carry them. Last month, reporters pressed nobody's ever going to reduce their technology, and if you do, until everybody's peaceful and we can actually walk free around the planet, you're an idiot. And you should probably study human nature. I mean, that's just common sense. Last month, reporters pressed Biden on whether Americans should be concerned about the possibility of nuclear conflict, to which he replied, no, we covered that. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki had slammed Putin's antagonistic rhetoric about nuclear weapons, saying, neither the United States nor NATO has any desire or intention for conflict with Russia. We think provocating rhetoric like this regarding nuclear weapons is dangerous, adds to the risk of miscalculation, should be avoided, and we will not indulge in it. You will not indulge in it. I mean, you have no choice. If Russia takes it there, you really don't. I don't trust the people in charge. I don't trust Russia. I think we should get better people in charge. I think there should be an internal investigation. I think we should a special investigation so the American people know, like a probe, so we understand what's going on and we can make better informed decisions because I'm sick of the propaganda on both sides. I don't trust anything that's said about this war, which is why I don't want to participate in it. I really don't. You're calling people that talk about U.S. biolabs conspiracy theorists, traitors, and Russian propagandists when both the U.S. Undersecretary of Public Affairs, the Pentagon, and other U.S. officials have said that it's true. They have confirmed that it's true. But you're still lying and calling people conspiracy theories. I think journalists and the press should be arrested and prosecuted with high treason if they lie about the news. You have freedom of press. You don't have freedom to lie of freedom of propaganda. But who knows? Like that would probably be abused too. It's a rock in a hard place, right? Rock in a hard place. But everybody's condemning Putin at face value just because he invaded Ukraine, and like you're innocent until you prove it guilty. Now you're guilty on invading Ukraine. You invaded Ukraine. You should have just went to the UN, but you invaded Ukraine. You're guilty of that. You were proven guilty of that. I can see that you did that. Now, you admitted to doing that. But I'm not going to say he's lying about the biolabs when the U.S. and Pentagon has admitted that they're using Soviet-era the research of biological pathogens and pathogens the Soviets were using as bioweapons. I can't adequately trust you until I know more about that situation. And now we're on the verge of nuclear war. Tulsi's right. What if war releases these pathogens and we all have to deal with the soup-up, genetically modified version of the goddamn Black Death?
Winning? No.
I, for one, don't want to deal with the gonorrhea, but it is what it is. I'm just fucking saying. Thank you for checking out this clip of my Thought of the Day podcast. You can catch this podcast every Tuesday through Friday at that'sonpoint.info by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's how winning is done. New clips go out daily, and we can't do this without you, so we appreciate your support. With that being said, consider joining for $5 a month. And you get early access to the uncensored version of this, early access to our weekly That's On Point podcast, and access to exclusive content only for members. All the money that we receive is going to go funnel back into this to hire more journalists and do more things for you guys, because that's how winning is done. It really is. We got a merch store and stuff. You can help there, and if you can't help via money, you can always just leave a comment, and share this out there, because that helps us more than you can immensely know. That's the best way to help. Just leave a comment, and share. And if you're listening to us, leave a review. Leave a good review. Help us boost us in the podcast ratings and get us up there, because that's how winning is done. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.